Want to go from this to this? Stay tuned. I recently built myself a system that included a 2.5 gigabit NIC, and that started a chain reaction. I have this 1 gigabit switch that I've been meaning to upgrade. It's a TP-Link TL-SG106. It's an older 16-port 1 gigabit rack mount switch I've been using for years. It's nice and quiet because it doesn't have a fan, and power-wise it has TP-Link's green technology. That said, I no longer need all the ports since my home lab has shrunk considerably. And the 1 gig switch is currently pulling roughly 16.2, 16.4 volt amps. So with the 2.5 gigabit onboard NIC, I want to do a small upgrade in this network segment. I don't need to go 10 gigabit E yet, no demanding virtualization hosts, and I'm not transferring large files to my NAS frequently. So going to 2.5 gigabits would be a nice modest upgrade using my existing cabling. My requirements were at least 6 2.5 gigabit ports, one 10 gigabit E port for future expansion, fanless, and hopefully draws less power. Also, I'm not doing anything fancy here, so no VLAN segmentations going on here, so an unmanaged switch is fine. Upon researching, I found this Nicgiga S25-0801. Upon further research, it appears there's other brands that are identical besides the branding. I ended up purchasing the Nicgiga since it did have great reviews and the price was comparable with the others. It was $55 US at the time of purchase. I'll put a link to this switch in the description below. In the box, we have the switch itself, a power adapter, and the instruction manual. And in the front, we have a port for power. We have the 8 2.5 gigabit ports, and then we have the 10 gigabit SFP plus port. On the sides, we have the cooling vents. And then on the bottom, we have provisions for wall mounting the unit. Okay, let me do some test copies before the upgrade, swap out the switches, and get back to you. Alright, first let's test by copying some small files across the 1 gig network from my NAS to my local desktop. $112 megabytes per second, looks like it's maxing out there. Okay, it's completed. And just for completeness, this was about 2.17 gigabytes worth of data, 117 files. Next, let's try copying a single 2 gig file across the 1 gig network. Looks like it's maxing at the same speed, about 110 megabytes per second. Since it's a single file, it is noticeably faster. Okay, I just swapped out the switch. My lab has been shrinking due to consolidation and the use of containers, so this 8-port switch fits my needs well with room for growth, especially with the 10 gigabit E port. I'd love to have a 10-inch rack, but this kitchen organizer will do for now. Okay, let's do some testing. And the Nicgiga switch is pulling roughly half the volt amps at 7.8, lighting up the same amount of ports. And let's test the copy of the small files folder. Just copying it to the desktop. Oh yeah, looks like it's about double the speed of before. Over 200 megabytes per second. And let's test the large video file. Oh yeah, looks like we're maxing out at 280 megabytes per second. Okay, what I'll do is I'll continue testing for the next couple weeks and give you my final review. And when we go back to the dashboard and look at the networking, looks like the outgoing stats are showing over 2 gigabits per second at the time of the copy. It's been roughly a month that I've been extremely happy with this 2.5 gigabit switch. I've had no issues. And when I'm pulling or pushing files up to my NAS, it's noticeably faster at transferring videos, ISOs, movies. It's well worth the relatively small investment, especially since 2.5 gigabits seems to be pretty popular in the industry. I've seen more and more desktops, mini PCs, NAS servers coming with 2.5 gigabit capability. And with the price of 2.5 gigabit switches coming down, this upgrade was a no-brainer for me. Oh, and the fact that this switch is drawing half the amps is an additional plus. I did end up adding two ultra-quiet USB-powered fans to the setup. The components were getting a little warm, and since heat is one of the worst enemies of electrical components, I figured I'd extend their life with a little cooling. I'll put a link to the switch and the fans in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please click like, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, please click subscribe. Thank you.